over the introduction there. Where could I get more?
They could probably go to mysterianamusic.com, mystereonamusic.com.
And I'll link that.
Check that out.
I'll link that to the show notes. They're gracious enough to record our introduction for us.
Yep. Very cool stuff. Let's get into the recap.
Let's do it.
I like to go right into the recap.
All
No
right.
dilly-dallying.
Dive in.
So the episode opens up with Merle on the roof, and he's a little sunstroked, probably coming down off of his cocaine/meth high, whatever he's got going on. And he's in bad shape. The zombies have found him now. They know where he's at.
Yeah, he's been so he spent all day and all night and another whole day up there, and doesn't
Apparently.
look very good.
No, he doesn't, because it's hot in Atlanta.
Yeah,
The sun beating down on you, especially on a rooftop.
and he's clearly kind of like out of his mind when we first see him.
Yeah, so this was interesting, the stuff he's talking about here, because it sounded to me maybe like he was in the military.
He was in the military.
Yeah, and he knocked a dude's teeth out.
He punched a sergeant in the face.
Uh-huh.
Or some other non-commissioned officer, and then he spent 18 months in the stockade, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, so...
And I feel like that he was hallucinating his brother that we meet later on in the episode, Daryl.
Yeah.
This is like a conversation he'd be telling, Daryl, and they'd be laughing about.
Yeah, because he was definitely laughing. He was like... It seemed like he was relaying a story to somebody.
That's what I said.
Yeah. The other thing about this is... Immediately after he realizes where he's at with his handcuff, he goes crazy, and he tries to pull himself out of it. Do you think that's like a flashback to when he was in the stockade, like how much that affected him?
No, I think that he actually got lucid and was like he kind of got a little punchy and forgot where he was at, and then it's like, oh shit, I gotta. Then it's like kind of scary because I had this kind of experience where I inadvisedly jumped off a very high cliff in the water.
Okay.
And I landed in such a way that it was a very shock to my system. And I remember being about 15 feet underwater and, like, my vision getting dim because in so much pain.
Yeah.
And, like, I was just like, oh. But then I'm, like, snaps, like, nope, can't black out. I'm still underwater, dumbass.
Yeah.
And fought my way to the top. So it's like, I think that when you're in a situation like that he's kind of like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm on this roof and I'm kind of dying. That's why I'm having these crazy. So then he's like frantic trying to get out of it.
Well, I thought it was also that he was remembering what it felt like to be caged like that, to be not able to get free, and he just freaked out.
Yeah,
as well.
This is a hell of a scene. I loved how he's praying to the Lord Jesus,
and Michael
then
Rooker.
At the end, he's like, you know what? Forget you. I never had to beg, and he's going to get himself out of this.
Yeah, and I've heard interviews with Michael Rooker. I want to say he's a fantastic actor, but he's a lot like his character in this, except for some of the extreme racism stuff like that. But his demeanor, I could see him very easily slipping into this character. He's definitely like a Southern type guy. He talks the same way.
He's another character actor, like we talked about on the Justified cast.
But I love the character he's playing here. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but it's such a good, strong, well-developed character.
I hated this guy. Didn't understand why he wasn't dead when I first watched it. But then on subsequent viewings, I'm like, that's part of the charm. Mm-hmm. I mean, not charm, the reverse of charm. The anti-charm.
I get you, yeah.
That it's hard to make someone that loathsome with so little screen time.
Definitely. Yeah, he does a good job. So then, what's his name, Jorge? Morales? Tells Rick that Merle has a brother on the way back to camp, and you can see on Rick's face he's like, uh-oh, this is not going to go well.
No, not at all.
But we go back to the camp, and Shane, Lori, and Carl are sitting around talking. Carl's getting his hair cut, and I really liked in this scene the kind of family type relationship they're building between these characters right before Rick comes back. Mm-hmm. I think that's really key to the emotion behind this scene, behind the episodes coming up in the episode here.
Yeah, what do you think about Lori confessing that she'd rather eat Miss Piggy than Kermit Legs?
Well,
I think she could use the eat Miss Piggy.
Yeah,
not an experimentation, like to literally eat Miss Piggy.
Yeah. Put some meat on her bones.
Yeah, she needs it.
Yeah, a little bit. She's pretty skinny.
She needs more than just a couple of frog legs.
Definitely. So then Glenn arrives at the camp, and he's got the sirens
He's
blaring.
in full woo-woo mode.
Yeah, and Shane comes up, and he's just like, you dumbass, and he turns off the alarm.
Everybody gives him shit.
As they should.
Yeah.
I
That was
mean,
pretty dumb of him.
Yeah, he's leading all the zombies back to camp.
But again, he's apparently in this season 17, so I got to cut him some slack.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I just think he's so much younger than in season 2.
Well, in season 2, he's apparently 17 as well, because what is it, like a week has
That's what I'm
passed
saying.
or whatever?
He looks like he's 25 in season 2. Maybe.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't really talk about this without going to spoiler territory, so we'll have to kick that to
Save it
to the end. Which,
Definitely.
by the way, if you're worried about, oh my god, are they going to spoil later on episodes of Walking Dead? No, we will not. We will do so, but only after we play a musical interlude at the end of the cast. So you can listen all the way to the end, not have to worry about hearing spoilers until we play our theme song again.
When I go through and edit this, I'm going to put in subliminal spoilers. I'm going to play them backwards and all sorts of shit. You're going to know
All right.
everything that happens.
Well, aside from Jim being an asshole, you won't hear any spoilers forwards and a normal speed.
Oh, no. Compare me to the asshole we see later in this episode.
All right.
We'll see how much of an asshole I really am.
Gaping.
So then Rick is united with his family again in a pretty touching scene. Like, he takes forever to get his ass out of the truck.
Right.
Forever. He waits
Right.
like 10 minutes.
What do you think he was doing back there? Because there's like the 10-minute monologue a couple characters have, and he's just chilling.
Yeah. I think I don't know why he was mentally preparing himself to get out of the truck, but you could see that's what he was doing when Morales left the truck.
Right. Some decent acting by Andrew Lincoln. I actually got to say, Laurie is terrible.
His accent is terrible.
His accent is terrible, but I actually thought and it's kind of exaggerated. I don't know if anybody would really do that in the real world, but his
No.
just body not functioning, it's so shocked at seeing his family.
Yeah, no, I liked the scene a lot.
Okay.
I thought it really worked well. So then we get campfire stories later on from both Rick and Laurie, and
Which is a good
Shane.
way for them to slip in. So we're at the tail end of Rick telling the campers everything that we already know.
yeah, what happened to him at the hospital.
So now they can get
and-
to the new information and stuff that's relevant. I thought that's a well done way to do that.
Yeah. So then, talking about huge assholes, Ed tosses a log on the fire. Shane doesn't like it. He says
Cause
there
it's
are rules.
cold.
Yep, and apparently the rule is Shane's the only one to put logs on the fire. No, I don't. What is the rule? Not a big
I
fire.
got cold. They said I guess they only burn fires to the ember. Like they'd only have embers at night.
Oh,
Which
okay.
means so you don't have
All
an
right.
actual fire. It's just enough to
Yeah.
cook with and stay warm.
So the zombies, I guess, won't see them, or even other humans
Right.
won't see them and come
Right.
try to take them out. So in this scene, they are really, really building Daryl up to be this badass. They're like talking about how much Daryl's not going to like it, and
Yeah.
it's like they're saying so much stuff about Daryl, which is
A whole
awesome
group
because
of armed men are worried about this man coming back.
yeah, what he's going to do when he finds out about Merle. And Daryl is like my favorite character in this series by far. So I just love every time they pump him up to be a badass. It's so cool. But then we go to the next scene, and Rick is in the tent with Laurie, and he's laying down the unintentional guilt trip. He doesn't know what happened between Laurie and Shane, but everything he's saying is directly applicable to that. I knew
Right.
you were alive. Like
Right.
he's basically saying you should have known and you should not have screwed Shane.
Yep.
Even though he doesn't realize he's saying it. It's so good.
Yep, he's just slipping that right into the rib cage.
Yep, he's got pictures and rings, and then at the end of this, they turn down the lights to get a little intimate, and Laurie's pretty sure that Carl won't wake up.
Yeah.
Now, how do you think she's so sure about that?
Well, her and Shane just make so much noise.
You think?
Yeah.
You think they've done the same thing that Rick and Laurie are about to do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what's interesting about that is they then cut outside to Shane, who's sitting there basically watching their tent, right? And he sees the light go down. He knows what's going
And
on.
I love how they silhouetted him against a sky that has not electricity, thunder and lightning
Yeah.
peeling over it. So it's like they really got this almost Frankenstein monster-esque quality to that.
Yeah, and it's very indicative of his mood there too. It really highlighted that well.
Yeah.
So then it's daytime again. Rick wakes up late. Everybody's already up and at him. He's slept for a while because apparently he hasn't slept for a while.
Right.
And the kids find a zombie. Yes. And everybody runs over. They start screaming. Everybody runs over and starts beating the zombie mercilessly. To little effect until Dale steps up with an axe and just wrecks
moves its head off.
Yeah, decapitates it.
It takes a village to beat a zombie, apparently.
Apparently. This was very reminiscent to me of Shaun of the Dead, where they're in the bar and they've got the one bartender zombie and they're just beating him to the sound of Queen.
Yeah, and I don't know that we covered this in last episode 2's the Guts episode, but they play about once per episode some scene of zombie violence for fun.
Yeah.
Like when they were putting those guts on, it was very gross, but it was also funny because the sound effects were over the top. This thing where they're all literally standing around taking turns hitting this pinata and the sounds that they make.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Awesome.
Daryl,
and then Daryl comes up. Yeah.
We finally meet the badass that is Daryl Dixon.
Finally, he's been walking around in the woods for apparently days. Comes strolling
all by
out.
himself.
Says he's been tracking that deer for miles, and
Right.
he's not even. I love how he's not afraid. He's just annoyed.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn it, that was my deer.
Right.
And why'd you take it, zombie?
Yeah, do you think we could, as he viciously kicks it, it's like, do you think we can cut around the gnawed-on parts?
Shane's like, no, I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, he hasn't given up the dream.
Yeah, he still wants that deer. That's my favorite part of Daryl. He doesn't care. He's not scared.
Right.
But then he gets a little violent when they tell Daryl about Merle, what happened to him. And at this point, I'm thinking Daryl seems like a wild card. I mean, we know the demeanor of his brother, right? And knowing that they're brothers, you would assume Daryl has a similar demeanor. So I'm kind of worried about where Daryl is going in this group.
Right.
And he's ready to kill Rick. Like, he takes a knife out, he's going to stab him, kill him.
He's going to come up. And then I think it's interesting how Rick and Shane instantly go into cop mode.
Yeah.
Like, Rick grabs him in a submission hole, and then Rick gets down there and starts reasoning with him.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Next scene, Rick decides that he's going to head back into the city with Daryl.
Right.
And Lori basically volunteers him.
Yeah, because
says, he'll go.
Daryl's like, saying, what the hell, you left my brother out there. What kind of bullshit is this? And Lori's like, well, Rick's going to show you where he's at.
Yeah.
And Rick's like, well, okay. I'm glad we got this settled.
Yeah, because earlier he had mentioned, hey, I want to go back for him. And Lori didn't seem to like that too much. But now she's volunteering him.
Right.
And Shane thinks it's a terrible idea, which I think it is too. How can you blame him? And he had a funny line there where he's talking about Merle, and he's like, yeah, you can't believe you're going to go back for the douchebag. And Daryl's like, hey, watch your mouth. And he's like, choose your words more carefully. Shane just says, no, I did. Douchebag's what I meant.
Yeah, right. And it's hard to argue. But there again, we see Shane, he is the survivalist. He's like, this does not make sense.
Yeah.
This guy was ready to condemn 6 people to death rather than send other people in the group on after them. So you can imagine what he thinks about one person who is Merle.
Yeah.
You can even, it's like, I already got my, I'm up to my armpits and assholes in this camp.
Up to my lobes and...
Yeah, I got Ed, I got Daryl. You going to bring back Merle? One more person I need to beat the teeth out of?
Yeah, he doesn't like it one bit.
Nope.
So there's an interesting relationship here, and I want to ask you what you think of this. Dale, before Rick leaves, Dale confronts him and says, hey, we want one of those guns, whatever. We need parts for the RV, stuff like that. And Jim's there. That's his name, right? Jim? Yeah. And he makes negotiations like he's part of Dale's part of the group.
Yeah.
So there are obviously like different factions within this group so far.
Right.
And Dale seems to be leading one with Jim. What do you think Jim's connection with Dale is? Because he seemed very possessive of the RV itself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that his RV? Is that Dale's?
I don't know, because I don't even think I don't know that there's an answer to that question, because if I recall Jim's backstory correctly, he is a father who lost his wife and kids in a zombie horde. They're running right behind him, and I think he tells the story later on, or he tells it in the comic, one of the two, that it's like they were there and then they're kind of ripped from him, and he's only able to get away because the zombies were distracted by them basically eating his family. So he's kind of a haunted guy. I have no idea what his connection with Dale is, but I think for whatever reason, Dale is taken in. It seems like Andrea, Amy, Jim, Dale are a group, and then you've got Morales and his family, and then you got T-Dog, who's kind of
He's almost a loner. Yeah.
He's kind of on his own, and so is Jackie.
And you got Shane, Laurel, and Lori and Carl.
Right.
And Rick, of course.
And you're right, that there doesn't seem to be a very obvious leader. I mean, Shane is kind of the de facto leader, it seems like, with the group, and they're kind of deferring to him because he knows how to work equipment and all that kind of stuff. But,
yeah.
You know, definitely ripe for the picking or ripe for the organizing, this group is.
I feel like you hit on something there. The ability to work on the equipment or work the equipment seems to be kind of the guiding factor here in the early going.
Practicality.
Yeah, Shane knows how to do stuff, so everybody gets behind him. So then Shane and Carl are failing to catch frogs, and the girls are chatting about sex toys. And Ed is the biggest asshole ever.
Yes.
I don't like this scene between Shane and Carl.
Why?
Because you're never going to catch a frog like that.
No, but...
I mean, I see what they were trying to do with the connection between those two. I don't know. I just don't really care for Shane very much right now, so it's hard to get behind them connecting.
Yeah, and what do you think about the division of labor comment? This is like... Every once in a while, the show will go like racial, and will go gender.
Well, obviously, first episode it does.
Right. What do you think about the women kind of complaining about the division of labor and the fact that the men are, in this case, just goofing off, doing nothing?
Well, that was the bullshit part, right? Like, they're legitimately not doing anything. You're never going to catch a frog like that. They can't say they're catching food.
But even like I saw that Ed was taking a turn, like doing a watch out or lookout.
Was he?
This episode.
It just seemed like he was disapprovingly looking over at the women.
He was actually up on the RV at one point in either this episode or the last one.
Oh, okay.
And my thought is, you know, why don't the women get to take a shot at that? Why don't some of the men, you know, I would think that if nothing else, you'd want a guy with a gun down there with the group washing clothes so a zombie doesn't come and get them, and all they got in their hand is a wet piece of underwear.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't the guys help out more?
I don't know. I wonder if they... Because it doesn't seem like they're out of the camp, like hunting or anything like that, except for Daryl.
Right.
Shane just seems to be there for protection, I guess, to keep his eyes open. But, I mean, isn't that why you have Dale and why you have a lookout and all these rules and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like the guys are really taking an initiative there.
Right.
They're just kind of like, oh, this is how it's going to be.
Right.
So, where are we? Oh, yeah. Lori tells Shane to stay away from her family. She runs down there.
Why?
Totally chews out Shane.
Why is Lori doing this?
It's because Rick is back, and Shane had told her that he was dead.
But doesn't she... I mean, why wouldn't... Shane is taking very good care of her family. Why wouldn't she at least want an explanation? That's what I don't get. It's just, you stay away from me, you're dangerous. And, like, what does that do to Carl? Because... Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's kind of a tragedy that she handled it this way because...
Yeah,
it's kind of this, I guess, is all a tragedy.
I totally don't agree with the way she handled it. She didn't even ask, like, what the circumstances were with Shane. Because, obviously, he thought Rick was dead. He wasn't lying on purpose. But she just overreacted.
Right.
Which I could see. I mean, she was a little freaked out when he came back. She didn't know what to think. But I loved her line, "Tell it to the frogs."
Yeah.
I would tell Shane the same thing.
We say that a lot.
We do, yeah. So then the group arrives at the department store, and Daryl shoots a zombie in the head. Just a really quick scene. Takes it out with a crossbow. And you made a comment about the crossbow.
I think the crossbow is the ultimate zombie killing weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty
silent,
good.
reusable ammunition, effective.
Very effective.
There's not much not to like about it.
Definitely. Not much not to like about the character wielding it either. Daryl's pretty awesome. So here we get to kind of the climax of the episode here, and Ed decides that Carol's had enough fun with the girls, and Shane gives him a well-deserved ass kicking.
I mean, we're talking broken jaw, broken orbital bone, like
broken hand on Shane's part,
skull fractures, detached retina. That's a beating that's going to be a while to come back from.
Yeah, he beats that guy. He says, like, I'm going to beat you to death. He practically did.
This is basically like, have you seen Goodfellas?
Yeah.
You remember when the head Goodfellas, oh hell, what was his name? When his girlfriend said that the next door neighbor had like hit her or threatened her, and he went over to cross the street with that gun and beat the dude's face in.
I don't remember that part.
He's like, move your hands, and the guy moves his hands. He just resumes beating him.
Yeah. He
Henry.
says, I'm going to beat you to death. Shane does the same thing. I'm going to beat you to death. And then he delivers another vicious punch to his head.
That was a Goodfellas style beating.
Yeah, it was a serious beating. So how much of that beating do you think was just Shane defending Carol versus how much of it was him taking his anger about Lori out on the head?
I think 100% of it was about him because he saw how he dealt with the ass. I mean, I don't know.
Certainly he didn't like Ed hitting Carol.
Ed and him have had some run-ins before. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say 90% was him taking his frustrations out. Mm-hmm. 10% was
defending Carol's honor.
Ed needed this.
Yeah. That's probably about what I'd say. So then in the last scene, Daryl and the rest of the gang arrive on the roof, and they find Myrtle's severed hand.
Yep. Yeah, and that's basically...
And that's it. Daryl screams a couple times.
A cold opening, that was a cold closing.
Yeah, it was. Really, really cool. Yeah. I love this scene.
What do you think? One thing we didn't talk about is Lori kind of like going back and forth in her decision. She volunteers Rick, but then the next scene when Shane and Rick are actually arguing about, this is stupid. Why are you doing this over Merle? She's kind of like, yeah, why are you doing this? Do you think the writers forgot that they just had her do this?
No. Here's what I think happened. When she volunteered Rick to go, I think she was tossing that ball to the group saying, talk him out of this. He's a fucking lunatic. He wants to go back. I know none of you will let him, so here's the ball. Run with it.
Right.
And they didn't. They let Rick talk them into it. So that's what I think happened there. But that's it. That's the whole episode. It's a pretty quick one.
Right.
Do we want to do an outro and then spoilers?
Think so. If you'd like to keep up with what Jim and I are doing, you can find all of our previous casts, all the things we've written for the site, at baldmove.com. If you'd like to give us feedback, again, we're probably going to read a lot during the season 1 recap, but if season 2.5 is right around the corner, if you want to get your thoughts in on that, email us at watchingdead@baldmove.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook fan site, facebook.com/baldmove, and Twitter @baldmove. Those are good ways to keep up to date with this moment that our podcasts drop, and if you want to just shout us out a link or something. If you want to actually support our cast, the best way to do that is to give us 5-star reviews on iTunes or positive reviews. I mean, obviously you can give us 1-star reviews, but that's not really supporting us now, is it?
Yeah.
And also subscribing, even if you don't use iTunes. If you have iTunes, you subscribe to our podcast, it helps us, build the traffic and rankings, which gives us more, people exposed to our cast.
Yeah, we love exposing ourselves.
Finally, if you like to support us directly with some filthy lucre, the filthier the better. You can use our Amazon affiliate link at amazon.baldmove.com. How that works is you use that link, it redirects to Amazon. Anything you purchase in that session, a teeny tiny percentage goes to us to help us pay for our bandwidth bill and keep our hard drive spinning and the lights in the Bald Move headquarters on.
Keep us in beer, too.
Yes.
Lots of beer on this
Although,
cast.
you just had a New Year resolution. You're giving up beer.
Yeah.
You're giving up carbonation.
Carbonation. No sodas, no beers. Pretty much just...
So, you are switching to hard... You're doing the reverse.
I'm going to quit drinking.
Most people switch to beer after they've had too much hard liquor. You're switching to hard liquor after having too much beer.
Yeah. Hard liquor, wine, coffee, water, tea. That's about it.
Anything that keeps more Johnny Walker in this house is a good thing, I think.
Well, it won't be there for long. Anyway, that's it for the episode. Thanks for tuning in. Stay with us through the music if you want to hear spoilers. And if not, until next time, I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron. See ya.
And we're back with the spoiler section. Do you have anything to talk about?
I had one tongue-in-cheek spoiler.
Okay.
Or talked about Glenn, how much he grew or
Yeah.
how much he changed or aged, I guess, in my mind, between season 1 and season 2. I think Maggie just made a man out of him. All by her lonesome.
Yeah.
The
He just-
farmer's daughter took him and made a man out of him.
Yeah.
So do you have any other spoilers? Because I got one final juicy one.
Well, I just really liked to to come back and see how this group has not really formed into a cohesive unit yet, because Rick hasn't been on the scene to kind of set up a hierarchy, I guess, to be the leader. It shows Rick's leadership skills really matter in this group, because we see later on he is the definitive leader.
Right.
Whereas now they're kind of factioned off. Nobody is really talking to anybody. They're bartering within themselves.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense until Rick comes into the picture.
Right.
So that was pretty cool.
Let's talk about who's... Okay, so in season 2, we find out that Lori's pregnant.
Yes.
Let's talk about whose babies this is, because Shane is sure it's his, and I kind of get from Lori's viewpoint that maybe she suspects it is too. But... Yeah, you and I have speculated, and this is all a little bit of speculation, but I don't think... Surely Shane and Lori didn't start having sex from day one of the disaster.
No.
The way they portrayed it on film, I'm thinking the time that Shane, like, rape-stalked her was probably the first time they had sex.
Really?
Or one of the first times.
Okay, because in the first episode, you were saying that it was not the first time that they had made out or whatever, but I didn't know if that extended to actually having sex or not.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because you seemed like to be on the side of they had already hooked up at that point.
Well,
I was on the other side. Now I think we flip-flopped.
See, the point I was making is, when I see two adults making out that hard, I'm thinking that they're either already having sex or having sex is going to happen like within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. Maybe this was it.
Right. But the point is, we also see Rick get some within a day of Shane. And I don't think you were with me. It's like, there's no way Shane has been doing this for more than a week.
Yeah.
So how in the hell can anyone be sure until we see this baby pop out and we examine its lobe size, whether it's
Yeah.
Rick or Shane's?
I don't think you can.
Do you think that we're mistaken and that Lori and Shane did have a pre-existing relationship?
Well, I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, the comment that she makes that Carl isn't going to wake up in the tent, I think that basically says it all.
I thought you were joking. You
No.
really think that
I'm
is...
serious. Yeah. I think that's her saying, Shane and I did this before.
Well, see, that's the thing is, like, if I were in a zombie apocalypse with a woman and my son was in the tent, he's 5, I'm pretty damn sure once he goes to sleep, he's not waking up for nothing.
Yeah.
Just because I know my kid. I haven't
know.
test fucked anybody to like calibrate
right
that.
right
Yeah.
next to him in a cot.
No, I haven't. I
Yeah.
don't need to do that to say that he probably will not wake up.
Gotcha. I don't know, just the guilt trip that he was laying on and the detention with Shane in that scene, him sitting outside, it felt very much to me like she was making a comment about that.
Interesting.
But I could be reading too much into that.
All right.
So, but either way, within a week, it could be either of their children.
Yeah.
You have no way of knowing.
I would think. I mean, I'm no biologist.
Because she's not showing yet, you know?
No.
I mean,
oh, yeah. I mean,
and a
she's
girl
not-
that thin would probably show almost immediately if she was going to.
Just shut up. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Like, she could probably be 2-3 months pregnant and not be showing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't like. Wait, season.
How long has it been?
Dude, season 2 is like less than a week after season 1.
Yeah, but we don't know how long they've been on that farm.
Look, I just know that Rick hasn't been in the hospital for longer than a month
Sure.
without attention. So I'm saying there's no way that Rick or Lori and Shane has been on the run for more than a month.
Well, okay, when does morning sickness start? I mean, I don't know about this
The
stuff.
first
but-
month you're pregnant.
Okay.
That's usually the first sign that women think, "Oh shit, I might be pregnant." Or
So,
"Oh good,
so
I'm
that's
pregnant."
what she just started experiencing. That puts
Yeah.
it a month ago, which is right around exactly now.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It just seems like.
Right?
Like I said, I don't know, man. I'm not a fertility expert. I don't know if Lori's sitting there in the tent with her thermometer and
Well,
tracking
neither is
cycles
she
and all
with
that
her morning
stuff.
after pills,
No,
apparently.
no. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that it seems like the show wants to be up in the air,
Yeah.
but the way that, or they've given them the wiggle room for it to be up in the air, but the way they're portraying it seems like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's Rick or it's Shane's kid.
it would certainly create more drama, right?
And that's the way
what
it
you
works
need.
out in the comic.
I see. Didn't know that.
But they could be zigging where the comics zag. They do that
That's true.
time and time again.
Yep.
So I mean,
It's up
who
in the air,
knows?
man.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of hope it changes just because it'll be more drama.
Right.
I'm a drama llama.
Yeah. You like the baby drama mama? Or baby mama drama?
Sure. Throw a llama in there and I'm sold.
Llama Llama Ding Dong drama?